Charleston City Council member James Lewis tells me he's running for Charleston City Council once again. In this edition of Quintin's Close-Ups, I speak exclusively with him one-on-one. And be sure to download the free Quintin's Close-Ups app in your Apple or Google Play stores. And listen to this interview later on iHeartRadio.
Councilman James Lewis, it's so good to see you here in my temporary studios.
Well, it's good to see you again, Quintin. You're a very busy young man and well-liked and well-talked about.
Oh, I appreciate that greatly. Thank God for everything and all the compliments. I know that you wanted me to come and interview you for Quintin's Close-Ups because you have some exclusive news to tell me about.
Yeah, I have decided that I'm going to run another term for City Council. There's still a lot of work to get done. We have accomplished a lot in the last 3 years when it comes down to working on affordable housing, working on flooding. We're just trying to get the city together. And I think the City Council that we have now needs to remain together so we can continue to work on the things we've been working on and work for the employees of the city also.
What more work do you want to do, Mr. Lewis?
Well, we have started. You know, it's hard to live downtown. If you don't own nothing, it's hard to live here. There's hardly no affordable housing here. We work with the housing authority on the land that we had where the bridges came down from. They are building us the first 55 units. We're in the process of building another 55 units farther back on that site, farther back between Aiken and Cooper Streets.
Right.
And we are working on another 55 units right off of King Street behind the senior citizen homes at 767 King Street, whatever that address is.
Oh yeah, right by Food Line.
Yeah, no, the one right across from the recovery room.
Oh yeah.
Right next to the parking lot.
Right.
The recovery room is at.
Right, underneath the bridge.
Mm-hmm. So that's 110, and our goal is we want at least, I would like to see us get at least a couple hundred units of affordable housing on the peninsula.
What is your definition of affordable housing right now in the city of Charleston?
Well, we're not only looking at people who earn 30 to 60% of the area median income, but we hope for, the majority of the people are looking at working in the service industry. Most of these people don't make no more than $25,000 a year, $30,000 a year. So those are the people I like to see be able to live on the peninsula, to keep the restaurants and the hotel going, because Charleston is built upon service jobs. So we're going to have to do something to keep some of those people who work here living here, because people right now are commuting from here to North Charleston, to Goose Creek, and to Somerville. So a lot of them are spending a lot of their monies having to pay for transportation to get back and forth to work.
Well, where does the city of Charleston come in when it comes to the discussion about public transportation?
Public transportation is really the responsibility of Carter, and Carter is steady working to upgrade their public transportation. Right now, we have the oldest fleet of buses in the country, so we are getting new fleet of buses. We are getting a few each year. I think we got another like 6 or 8 coming sometime within the next few months.
Let me get you back over to Charleston City Hall on Broad Street. Obviously, the talk of town really is about the mayor's State of the City address. If you were to look back at the state of the city address from last week to now, what plays in your mind?
Well, he talked a lot about drainage. He hardly said anything about the main subject that we're always talking about, which is affordable housing. But he has worked very hard with us to get affordable houses done. In our ordinance, when developers build big units, like 30, 40, 50 units, whatever, we ask them to set at least 15% aside as affordable. But a lot of developers didn't want to do that, so he worked with us and we came up with a formula which called fee in lieu. So those developers that don't want to opt out and don't want to have the units, they could give us the money and we will put the money in the Community Development Block Grant office, where we could buy land property and build it ourselves. And he worked very hard with us on that.
How much money's in the budget for all of this, in your mind?
Most of our budget is HUD money.
Okay.
We hadn't got our allocation for this year. But I know we have taken, like I said, the monies that we got now
Right.
to build those first 55, 110, 165 that we're working on. We gotten some of that fee in lieu from another developer, and we're building 9 units of housing in Ashleyville for first-time home buyers. So we're steady working on it.
And when you think of Ashleyville right now, what is the future of Ashleyville in your mind?
I think Ashleyville will remain a good community like it is. I don't think nothing's going to change with it.
Change with it. And let me return you back here to Charleston on the peninsula. Obviously, another big topic is the drainage system. Where are we with this discussion in your mind?
Drainage, we continue to work on drainage every day. We're getting a new stormwater manager to manage the stormwater. We have come up with a system this year that we're going to make sure that we got enough people to make sure that these storm drains are clean on a regular basis. Ditches west of Ashley are clean on a regular basis. So maybe that'll help alleviate some of the flooding.
How many drainages does the city need to clean out right now in your mind?
How many drainage we need? Well, all of it needs to be. We got to continue cleaning out. You got to do that preventive maintenance, and we haven't been doing it.
What is that maintenance?
Maintenance is just like what you see these little drains that's building in the sidewalk.
Right.
They are called catch basins. Those catch basins, the basins that catches the water when it rains. So if those catch basins are not clean, if those pipes are not clean for the water to drain out, then the water's going back up, and it's going to be in the street. That's what causes the streets to flood. I've been able this year also, last year, to work with City Council to put some monies in the budget. So we're going to work on our next big project downtown. It's going to be Hugh G. and King. As you know, that's been flooding for 30, 40 years.
Right.
So hopefully we're going to get that project done this year. We've had a partial engineering study, so that should be coming to City Council pretty soon to put off a contract to get a company to work on that, to do that work.
And when you go back to that maintenance issue, who is responsible in your mind? Who do you want to bring to the table and ask more questions about this?
This is the responsibility of the city. The city is responsible for all the storm drains in the city. The city is responsible for making sure that the ditches and the outlying areas of West Ashley, which is in the city, are clean. That's our responsibility.
Is that a West Ashley problem?
The most downtown, your biggest problem is your catch basins, the storm drains. West Ashley problem, we have a lot of problem with ditches overflowing, but that's the responsibility of the city to see it is clean and make sure it's maintained.
Let me get you back to Hugh G. and King. If you were to look at that study about this whole stormwater issue there, what do you want to see in that study?
Well, it's the study telling us the pipes need to be replaced, and we need to put a pump station over there to get rid of that water when it's flooded, and that's something that's going to be done.
Now, how many more pump stations do you all have in the city of Charleston downtown, particularly?
I think Market Street is the only one I think could come to mind right now. Of course, they're working on this September Clock Basin, but that's going to take a few more years. But that will cover everything from the September Clock Expressway. That will go all the way over to Hampton Park.
Right.
That's a big project.
And when you talked earlier about the budget, if you were to look at the 2018-2019 budget, what would you try to take in and take out, or put in or take out?
Well, I don't think we have enough money come from property taxes and stuff like that to even to really talk about a budget, because we need a lot more money to do things to address the problem that we have in the city, which is housing, the main thing. Well, probably about 40-50% of our budget goes to public safety, fire and police, so you don't have a whole lot to work with after that.
Where are we right now with the state of public safety in the city of Charleston?
I think the city of Charleston is a really good, safe city. We have one of the best police departments, I think, in this country that any city would want. And our fire department is in good shape since we got a new chief, and things are going well now. So I think public safety is in good shape in the city.
What else is in good shape in your mind?
Well, I think that's the best thing I can tell you.
Okay.
That's in good shape.
Okay.
You know, like I said, we're working on public service,
Right.
which includes streets, sidewalk, drainage, stormwater, things like that. We just need to get that department up to par.
And when you think of the fire, I know they're adding more stations around this particular Charleston area. What more are going to be added in your mind?
I think they're about to do 2 more fire stations, West Ashley. They are going to build, hopefully, we're working on acquiring some land to build another fire station on Daniel Island. But I'll tell you, like I've told a lot of council members and the new fire chief, and a lot of people don't know, but the original master plan for Daniel Island, and Daniel Island is not built out yet. That master plan calls for at least 9 fire stations. So Daniel Island is going to be just about as big as downtown Charleston when it's built out.
When was the last time you looked at that master plan?
Well, I hadn't looked at it in a while, but the city knows it's there. And it's, who knows, maybe in our lifetime, Daniel Island is built out and may not, but it's going to happen.
Obviously, you've been on Charleston City Council since 1995. From 24 years ago to right now, what is the biggest difference between the city of Charleston and Charleston City Council?
There got to be a distinction between the two. City council is 12 members. We have a good city council. We have a group of members that works together. As far as the growing of the city, Charleston is a big city and a well sought after city. If you look at the development that's going on in the city, the city is really growing, but it's not for the people that live there, because the majority of the people live there, especially African Americans, can't afford to live here no more because the city is so expensive. As far as my district, when I was elected, my district was about 55 to 60% African Americans. Now it's probably about 25%. So the city is growing, but people are moving from other areas of the country and moving down to Charleston. So that it's really changed.
African Americans, and you say 20, maybe 25% of them live in the city.
Mm-hmm.
How did we get here with that number of people?
But I think the entire city was somewhere around 30, 35, maybe 40% are black. But my district, like I say, was 55% black, but it's probably about somewhere around 25% now.
And let me fast forward to November. If someone wanted to vote for you, why should they vote for you in your mind?
They'll vote for me because I'm a people's person. I am elected by the people. I work for the people. I believe in what I do. I like to see the city develop and make sure that we are part of all the development in the city. I work hard to try to make sure that our employees are taken care of, because we have some of the best employees in the city. The department head and division heads who run the office and stuff like that has no inkling sometimes what it takes to make the city such a livable city as is written up in magazines. But the employees that out there, the sanitation workers, the street and sidewalk workers, the stormwater people, the workers in the parks department, the fire department and the police department, these hands-on people who are out there day to day that's running the city, is the people that we really need to take care of, because they're the one making the city the best city that it is.
Councilman James Lewis, thank you so much for your time. I really, really appreciate this.
Thank you also, Quintin.
Anytime.
Quintin. I don't know why I keep saying Quintin, but we'll have to talk again.
I'll be here.
Okay.
I'll be here. I'm here for the people.
And sometime, again, give me a little head ups on these questions so I can get it back at you.
Hope I wasn't too tough.
You're good. I like the way you did that.
Oh, thank you.
All right.